Yes, I think we are live now, right now. Just let me check, please.
Okay.
Yes, finally we are live.
Okay, good.
Yeah, just let me on it, please. I will share the platform. Yeah, finally we are live. Uh, Good evening, everyone. It's a great honor to please you. Welcome to all to Global Leaders Talk, a platform where leaders come from different parts of the world and share insights, perspectives, and that influence the direction of our global community and young society. So let me ask you a simple question. Is very that do you truly know about yourself? Not the version people see, because many people spend their whole life without knowing themselves and without ever discovering who are really are. So, dear audience, today we are going to talk about a very simple topic: self-discovery. How to self-discover yourself. And if I again this sentence, how to discover yourselves. This is the very simple, but self-confidence and self-discovery is one of the most important journey in our life. We know that very well because when you will understand yourself better, then you will make better decision. You build confidence, and you discover you truly your purpose and potentials. Yeah. So this inspiration session is proudly presented by Tusar Associate, an organization committed to development, leadership, communication, and confidence building. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tusar Hasan Hridoy. I'm soft skill and self-leadership trainer from Bangladesh, and I'm to be honest, and I'm truly honored to be host today's global conversation. And I'm very confident that the insights shared by our guests will inspire all of us. So today we are privileged to welcoming our outstanding speaker who are already making an impact in leadership, personal development, and communication across the world. So first, we are honored to welcoming Makila Selnes, John Maxwell certified trainer, speaker, coach. Please welcome this podcast.
Oh, it's such an honor to be here today, Tusar. Thank you so much for the invitation. And I just love the introduction, talking about self awareness and why it's so important. So, just so glad to be here with you and share everything that I know to empower, impact, and equip your audience.
Thank you so much for connecting this to this podcast. So before we continue, I request everyone watch this live and drop your country name and comment sections and let us know where you are connecting from this podcast. So without delay, we want to discuss and we want to let's dive into the discussion. So Mekila, you are working a lot of days in a lot of years in this platform, especially how to development your mindset, communications, leadership, different perspectives. And also you were John Maxwell certified trainer speakers. So I have a lot of question into this. So I hope that you will step by step mention and answer it. So my first question is very simple. And what does discovering yourself actually means? And is it about finding something, or is it about building something new? Because those are very important and very different for in the journey.
Great question. And yes, I would say it's both, because discovering yourself is the most important thing you can do in your life. Because essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to find your lane, your purpose, your calling, and you're going to be able to be very authentic because everybody has a mission, everybody has a purpose. Some have yet to discover it, but once you discover what you carry inside, then it gives you that authority to step into that place, which builds confidence. But yes, I would say when you do the work of discovering who you are, and I can share how to do that, essentially what happens is you begin to look at what's in front of you, and it could be very small, but you want to make it bigger And that's where purpose begins, because it's just an ongoing return on your investment, believing that you carry something of value that adds value to other people. And that's where the growth begins.
So yeah, it's a great, because when you will give other people value, that you will increase your thoughts, your ideas, and then you can discover yourself. So you have to make sure value other people, then you can self-confidence, and also you are growing other people. So it's a great, and I have a lot of question into this. So my next question is very simple. So why do so many people and struggling to understand their true identity and purpose? Because I have seen a lot of youngest people in our countries, they are the not feels their lack of confidence. They are the fail. They have no one showed them the right direction. That's why they are the fail into this. So why they didn't understand and how to confuse their identity and purpose.
Yeah, so what happens, Tusar, is the reason why people are failing when it comes to walking in their unique lane is because they're too busy looking at everybody else. And sometimes we'll see success show up. Let's say you, for example, we'll say, well, Tusar is doing everything right, and it has to look like Tusar. If not, it's not going to be successful. Or perhaps people aren't building confidence because they're trying to fix their weaknesses. And what I would share with you is the first thing you want to do is discover who you are. And most people already have an inkling, they have a desire, a yearning, because your strengths always pull you forward. So I'll give you something very quick is the best way to describe yourself is going to be what energizes you, what brings you to life. What do people come to you for? Like, what problems are you solving? And that right there automatically gives you a quick idea of this is what I'm really good at. And but here's the thing is that it's one thing to identify that you're good at it, but it's another thing to now claim it as yours and then be able to walk in that confidence. And I think that's what happens is some people do carry a sense of purpose and a sense of identity. But what happens also to is they're looking for what I would say is the qualifiers, the credentials, sometimes the applause that says, yes, yeah, we love what you're doing. And the reality is that you're going to have to discover yourself before the applause comes, because as long as you know that you're called to walk in those areas of strengths and giftedness, that's really all that's going to matter, because you're not going to be for everybody. Not everybody's for you. So really just going back to the question is, you build up confidence by just looking at what's already working with you. And then really dissecting that and saying, well, if this is working with me, what do I want to do with it? Is there an audience assigned to me? Is there a specific group that I should be helping? And I feel like your confidence is going to come from these specific areas is, what have you lived through? What do you love? What are you passionate about? And what have you learned? What has life taught you? Right? And that's when you can actually separate yourself from everybody else and say, because I've lived through this, because I'm passionate about this, because I've learned this is my unique lane, and this is where I become the expert. This is where I can thrive, and I have the confidence, and it's not going to look like you or them. This is uniquely me. And then you just continue to build the confidence in that specific area.
Yeah, it's a very important, because if you don't love any work, if you don't love your purpose, you cannot do anything. So first one, you have to know what you are working. Yeah, this is the first identity. And second thing is very important. You are already mentioned. I am not a dent. What is your passion? What you are love? You have a passion. So when you will understand your passion, what you will love your work, when you will understand your purpose, then automatically growing your confidence. Yeah. So when automatically growing confidence, then you can automatically discover yourself. Yeah. So that's the very interesting part. And also just doing what are you doing? Just know the purpose. This is the first thing. Yeah. So when you will understand what you are doing and what you are loving, so then you can understand your purpose. And when you will understand your purpose, then you can discover yourself. So it's very fantastic. So Mikla, I have another question. So, that different speakers, trainers comes together to share different parts. So we have seen a lot of youngest people in our countries, not only our countries, but also around the world. So my third question is very simple. What role does fear play in self-discovery? Is it possible that the reason most people never discover themselves? It's not lack of opportunity, but they are terrified of what is the might find. This is the lot of mistakes. So yeah.
That's a great question. And I think that's a real question because a lot of people are afraid of success, or they're afraid that all of a sudden they get presented with, this is who you are. And therefore you have to act on it, because once you discover who you are, once you see who's in the mirror, you're now forced to take action. One of the things that I could tell you is, aside from being a Maxwell coach, I'm a Gallup strengths coach, and I devoted myself for the past 6 years to just learning positive psychology. And it's all based on who you are, what you carry. And what I've seen, Tusar, is when I sit with clients and we look at their report and it gives them their top 5 strengths that Gallup provides after taking an assessment, they'll look at the report and they'll say, I was looking for something else. And I automatically say, well, what is it you're looking for? Because that means that they're looking at somebody else's life. But I've also understood that people that have discovered their strengths, they understand it, but then they don't get to claim it. So let me explain what I mean. In Gallup, what we talk about is when you discover your strengths, you name them. In other words, it's not just an I concept, an idea. It's not just a I might be, I could be. It's no, you actually have a name for it. And then you claim them. And this is where confidence begins, is you say, this is me. This is exactly how I am. This is how it shows up in my world. And then the third part is you aim them. And that's what we're talking about here, is that once you claim them, you get the right to aim them. And the reality is that people that lack self-awareness are most likely already in the third part. They're constantly aiming, but they don't have a name for it. And that's why it's so important to be able to name your strengths, because every day you get to look at it. You could have it posted on a mirror. You could have it on your cell phone, on your computer, and you get to look and say, this is exactly who I am. I'm a maximizer. I'm an activator that activates people. I'm strategic. I'm full of empathy. I empathize with people. And that way you show up into this claiming space and you say, this is who I am. Therefore, it means I have work to do. And that's where people say, and I've had clients that have come in and we've done the full report and we say, wow, you have a tremendous purpose. And one client in specific said, that's a lot of work to do. I'm going to bury these talents. I know they're there, but I'm not going to aim them, because that means I have to commit to growing resources and showing up for people. And that's just too much to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you understand your purpose, then automatically growing your confidence, there is no doubt about these perspectives. Yeah. And on the other hands, where a lot of people, they are not try to sometimes show off, sometimes they are so much curiosity and compare other people. That is the most important things. And other hold, there are sometimes just fear. I cannot do it. It's never possible, but by me. But unfortunately, if she focus, or if we focus their confidence, their communications, their strength, the real purpose, then automatically they grow. There is no doubt about this point. Yeah. But unfortunately, we are so much luckier generation in the history. We have internet, technologies, and YouTube, trainer, speakers, but also we are also most distracted generation in the history. Do you believe that?
I do believe that. Very distracted. It really is robbing people of their purpose, their time, their passions, and they're watching other people walk in what would be their purpose and their passion. And I would say one more thing, going back to your previous question about leaders, is when you think about a leader right now, let's just say for a moment, pick that one leader and just like grab it right here, that name, and think about, why are they known for being such a tremendous leader? There's always strengths attached to it. We're never going to reference someone for their weaknesses that is successful. It's always going to be a strength that says they took the time to discover what was right with them, and they took that and they ran with it and they found success. And it could be in that one specific area. And it could be, people that are not successful is because, if we look at the opposite, is they're focusing on what's wrong with them. Or sometimes, Tusar, let's just say that maybe they discovered a strength and someone said, you're talking too much about that. Stop doing that. I'm sure you've experienced it, because I have.
Absolutely.
Right. And
Because
that's what causes
sometimes,
fear to say, I'm going to shut it down because nobody likes that I'm talking about soft skills. Like for you, nobody wants to talk about leadership, but you're like, I'm in love with leadership. I love soft skills. And that's your area of strength. So when you think about your strengths, it has to happen in you. You have to accept it in you. That's the claiming part before it happens through you. Because if you don't accept it and claim it, it'll never happen through you. And
yeah,
that's the problem.
and also I'm sometimes say some people's, if you don't speak, who will understand your silence? You have to speak. You have to motivate other people. Otherwise, you cannot survive at the present world. You have too much talented. You have too much skills. But if you don't speak other people, if you don't motivate other people, you are actually nothing. So that's why you have to listening also important, but you have to speak. You have to understand yourself. Yeah. And if I added some story, last year tried to speaking different organization. They're inviting me, so I'm trying to speaking something. But sometimes I'm fear because I'm age. You know that my age is very low, but my confidence is very high because I never forget or I never fear because I have thought I can speak. I have so much confidence. Why I cannot speak? Why I didn't develop my thought? So sometimes I realize that we have too much talented, but we have no right platform, right opportunity, and right mentorship. That's why they are the failing to this. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much for appreciating me for explanations very well. So my next question, not least, so you know that very well. So for some people who genuinely wants to start discovering themselves, so not just reading about it, but actually doing it. And what are the first step, really step? You are already doing a lot of coaching, training. So what tell your coach client on the?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the first thing that I ever do with a client is number one, I say take your Clifton Strengths assessment, and they are worldwide. And it's an assessment that you want to take because it's going to let you know what your top 5 strengths are, and it'll give you insight as to who you're not. So when we think about a talent, essentially, it's something that you've worked on for a long time, and it's a natural area of excellence for you. And we're talking about you're investing time in this, but here's the interesting part. I'm going to give you a quick takeaway that'll help anybody right now find confidence. When we're talking about your strengths, there's always going to be a voice attached to it. There's going to be a lens, right? It's almost like putting on glasses and you're like, okay, here come my strengths. This is how I see the world. So when you're connecting with people and you're looking to communicate, there's a John Maxwell framework that he uses, and he says there's 4 H's that are connected to your strengths. You're going to connect through your heart, through humor, which means you're going to be funny. You're going to want to help people, or you want to give people hope. And right away, your audience right now can identify that, what are my top 2? When I connect with people, when I show up on Facebook, when I get asked to speak, when I'm in a one-on-one conversation, what's the first thing that people are going to get from me? Are they going to get my heart that's going to show compassion? Am I going to automatically have strategy to help them? Am I going to be funny and they're going to have positivity, having a positive conversation with me? It's going to be purpose driven. It's a lot of light, excitement. Or is it going to
Yeah,
be, I want to help? And that right there, if you can discover that right away without taking any assessment, just look within and say, what is my number 1 and what is my number 2? And then now we start to see that 3 and 4, you could probably do it, but it would require some work.
absolutely. It's a very important thing. So also, you are added something from John Maxwell study, right? John Maxwell sir for some quotation. So it's very helpful for our audience, and you know that very well. When we are connected different country, different culture, different peoples, then you can automatically give value your perspectives. And besides it, when you will help other people, there will be hope to you. So definitely you need to first help other people, then automatically will be hope, and hope can survive around the world. Yeah. So if I summary in this part, we are totally last moment in this podcast. So you are already saying different, just knowing yourself, what you love, your passion, your self-assessment, your strength, and help other people. Then automatically build your unexpected life. Yes.
Yes. And I want to, before we go, I want to give you this powerful statistic that's really going to just clarify why you're so uniquely made and why you have a unique purpose. Even though some people have lived the same thing that you might have experienced, it's still going to be very different because there is a statistic that says the chances of someone having the top 5 strengths as you are 1 in 33 million.
Oh my God.
So think about, let's think about, there's a continent in Africa that has 33 million people. Imagine, Tusar, that you go on vacation there, and the chances of someone having the top 5 strengths as you is 1 in 33 million, which means it would take for you to meet one person on that 33 million island, and that they would be identical to you. And everybody else around you would be completely different. So that just tells you how unique you are. But you can't give yourself the credit if you haven't done the work to discover yourself. So you have to find what's right with you. You have to look at your 4 H's of connecting because it builds up the confidence. And then last but not least is stay away from the weaknesses. When you can't operate in a strength, pull someone alongside of you that has a strength that'll help you get it done. Because if you're constantly trying to build the weaknesses, your return on your investment is going to be 0 to 1%. It's going to be very low because your weaknesses require a talent, a skill, knowledge. And if you don't have that naturally coming to you, you're just not going to see the profitability in that specific area.
Yeah, specific areas very important things because a lot of people they do not know how to who is my ideal customer. They didn't know, and who is my ideal person who will understand me. Because sometimes we are feelings, and if I added some quotation, Nelson Mandela says that uh, we don't need a lot of people. We need some people who can understand truly. We don't need a lot of people. You need specific areas, specific people for growing yourself. But unfortunately, already I'm saying that we are most distracted generation in the history. I cannot explain because too much talented people around the world, also Bangladeshi people. But unfortunately, no one showed them the right directions. That's what they failed. They didn't know their potential skills, their strength, what actually love, what actually my passion, profession. It's misperception, it's misconception.
You're very passionate about that. But here's the thing is that the reason why people are so distracted is because they also don't have work to do. They're just showing up and they're just participating as, well, this is what everybody else is doing. But if we go back to that live, love, learn, think about something that you overcame. And I'll give you an example using myself. I lacked purpose and identity for the majority of my life. When I decided to become a life coach in 2020, that was just a general title I was going for. And they said, discover your strengths. When I discovered my strengths, I realized I've been this woman all these years. I was looking at other people to maybe try to do what they were doing. But then I looked at how I was living and what I had gone through. But here's the thing is that when you live through something and you love something and you've learned something, guess what? You moved over here. There's people that are still back here. And there's a book that says you're most qualified to help the person you once were. So now operating through a strengths lens, think about how easy it is to go back and help this person because you now attain victory. You're no longer challenged here. You know how to write the book and say, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, you're going to discover your strengths, you're going to build confidence, you're going to develop yourself as a leader, you're going to develop the leader within, and then you get to develop the leaders around you. Because I'll tell you, as a leader, if you don't know your strengths and you haven't developed the leader within, you cannot effectively develop the leaders around you. You have to do
And
the
also,
personal discovery.
they cannot sustain in the present world if you don't know about their strength point. Yeah, and also I think he's not actual good leader because when they have no purpose with their teams, it's actually not leader because you know that knowing, showing, and going well with together is very important thing. So if they didn't understand their purpose, their strength, how he can understand other perspectives? It's not possible. Never.
Right. And then not only that, but when you discover your strengths, you understand that everybody else around you has strengths, which makes them unique, which means that you're going to be different. And you might not see eye to eye, but you get to value other people for their contributions. And that's the important part about discovering your strengths is knowing that it's not just you, it's other people that are carrying their strengths as well.
Yeah, and also I also believe that, I strongly believe that, because from by born, we are totally unique. Because your face, our face is totally not matching. Your eye contact, our eye contact is not. Our hands, our thinking, just only one change, the thinking, out of side the box thinking. One day thinking can change your life. Nothing, no color, no body languages, no your shape, no your facial expressions, no your how many hands, just only thinking. Yes, I think there is no different. There
No,
is.
I agree with you. I'm going to share with you. There's a Bible verse that I love, and it says, "As a man thinks in his heart, so is he." In other words, how you see yourself in your heart is how you're going to become. If you don't see yourself as strong, you're not going to become strong. If you see yourself as less than and weak, you will be less than and weak. But your mind has to align with what's in here. That's why that self discovery is so important, because it's almost like a secret vault that says, I have all this goodness in here. I can contribute, I can add value. And this is what I've been created to do. And I feel like, just like you're saying, when people say, well, I don't know who my ideal client is, number one, go back to the drawing board. What have you lived through? Can you help this person? Can you successfully help them? Number two, are you called to develop people? If so, who do you want to develop? Do you want to develop somebody who's just starting, or somebody who's already a few chapters ahead? Because that's going to make the difference. And last but not least is, like I said, when we go back to the framework, as name your strength. What are your strengths? You claim them. This is where confidence begins. This is me. This is how I use them. This is how they show up in my world. And then you aim them. So when you go into a room, confidently speaking, you say, hi, I'm Tusar. These are my strengths. I'm ready to aim. I am aiming all these strengths, versus walking in and saying, I don't know what value I'm going to add. No, you say, I already have these strengths. Therefore, I'm ready to add value through these strengths.
Yeah, absolutely. And also from our audience says that right thinking and right mindset in the key belief. Yeah, absolutely. So we are totally last moment in this podcast. So I really thank you so much for such a wonderful sharing valuable insights, and thank you so much for our audience. Stay connected with us, and remember, self discovery is not about become someone else. It's about become your truth self. Because when you will understand yourself truly, and also when you will truly discover themselves, then can understand their strength and weakness, build confidence from within, and make better life decision and find clearly purpose and directions. So, and that's why this journey is of self-confidence and self-discovery is most important. It is the foundation of personal growth and transformation. So that's why discover self-discovery is very important things, your personal and professional life. Yeah. So Makila, we are totally last moments. I have no question at the moment. So if you want to add something, or uh, if you want to say something about your whole career for our audience,
Yeah,
anything.
I'm just going to encourage your audience once again, is, purpose begins when you discover yourself, and really looking at understanding that there's a mission for you, and that whatever is calling you to, I say your gifts and strengths, they call you, they wake you up and they say, walk in this direction. And those are where the best business ideas are created, because it's almost like it's a free guide, it's a GPS, it's what they say, like the North Star. It's yearning, it's saying, use me, use me. And if you think about right now, to end this all, is when you think about your time, where do you want to spend your time? And doing the things you love, not in the things that drain you. And that's what I would say is, do the hard work, discover yourself, fall in love with the process, ask other people what they think about you. What do you see strong in me? But show up every single day. I guarantee you there's somebody out there waiting for you. And that's worth the while, is knowing that there is somebody out there that will receive transformation, because you decide to do the hard work of discovering yourself, naming, claiming, and aiming.
From our audience says that something, I think I have to note it all the things Nikila share with us, life changing thoughts. Wow, that's a great. So thank you so much, Mikila, for your such wonderful insights that can help our not only our younger generation but also whole communities. And also, I'm really happy. You know that very well. I'm so much committed to my passion. It's not my profession, but it's so much my passion. I like to introduce in different culture, different peoples that can really influence our younger generation. And also, I'm also younger, but I like to insight different perspective, different ways thinking, because it totally change our thinking. Yeah, when I introduce different culture, different people, it's directly change our mindset.
Yeah.
And when you will change your mindset, then automatically you can create something, because you know that one good trainer or speaker can shape a great mindset to the people, and great mindset can create something for the younger generation.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're just giving the next generation a hand up and saying, here, this is how we did it. And, going back to the 1 in 33 million, remember, you are 1 in 33 million. You are so unique. You are fearfully, wonderfully made. And there is a purpose and a calling waiting for you. And it can start right away, just like it did for me. And I promise you, everything on the other side of purpose is just amazing. And there's just a lot of fulfillment to be found there.
Thank you so much for our audience to stay connected with us, and also thank you so much, Carla, for connecting in this podcast. I'm really happy, and it was very my pleasure for connecting with this podcast. And in this journey, it's very unpleasant, unexpected sometimes. So sometimes I will invite you, if you don't mind, for our younger generation, and also for next breakthrough. Because when you connect to different people, then you can see a lot of opportunity. So opportunity comes to everyone, but some people catching. So I want to catching you for your thoughts, your ideas, and also your training session. And besides it, see you soon, inshallah, next session. And still connected with Tusar Associate, dear audience. See you soon next podcast. So thank you so much again, everyone. And also thank you so much, Mikila, for connecting this podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.